It's me. This is a new thing that I wanted to do because I'm not funny, so I couldn't really think of any other comedy bits. And I thought this would just be something fun to do. I think the voice quality is actually better than obviously what you're hearing right now. So it should be cool. So if you guys like it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, then that's fine, because it's probably shit just like everything else on the channel. So, I mean, oh well. But I'm gonna do more weird shit like this in the future, just for variety. Anyways, arrivederci, buonasera, pasta linguine, Pinocchio, Gestapo, goodbye.
Once upon a time, in a forest, dwelled it's a poor woodcutter with his wife and his 2 children. The boy was called Hansel and the girl Gretel. He had little to bite and to eat, I guess this says, and once great Darth Vader fell upon the land, could no longer procure even daily bread. Now when he thought this over by night in his bed, he tossed and lay about in his anxiety. Same. He groaned to his wife and said, "What has become of us? How are we to feed our poor children when we no longer have anything even for ourselves?" "I'll tell you what, husband," answered the woman. "Early tomorrow morning, we'll take the children out into the forest where it is the thickest. There we will light a fire for them, and give them 1 more piece of bread. Then we'll go to our work and leave them alone. They will not find the way home again, and we shall be rid of them." Bitch, please. That's fucking stupid. You were the one who we fucking had these kids, dude. The animals will kill them. Look, man, we're all gonna die. If you just don't give the food to them, you might as well, plane the planks for our coffins. And she left him with no peace until he consented. Look, I feel bad, because, we decided to have kids and now we just want to kill them. Because, we're fucking tools. The 2 children had also not been able to sleep for hunger, and had heard what their stepmother had said to their father. Gretel wept bitter tears and said to Hansel, "Shit, our parents still love us, dude." "Shut up, fool," Gretel said. Or Hansel said to Gretel, I can't read. "Do not distress of yourself. I will soon find a way to get us out of this mess." When the old folks had fallen asleep, he got up, put on his little coat, opened the door below, and went outside. The moon was all bright and shit, and the white little pebbles were like real silver pennies. Who the fuck has a silver penny? What the hell? Hansel stooped and stuffed the little coat pocket with as many as he could get in. Then he went back and said, "Be comforted, dear little sister." I thought Gretel was the older one. Wait, literally in every version of this story, Gretel's the older one. "And sleep in peace, for God will not forsake us." As he laid down in bed again. That's fault number 1. When the day dawned, but before the sun had risen, the woman came and woke the 2 little children, saying, "Get up, you sluggards. We're going to the forest to fetch wood." She gave each a little piece of bread and said, "This is something for dinner, but don't eat it up before then or else you'll get nothing." Gretel took the bread under her apron, as Hansel had the pebbles in his pockets. Then they all set out on the way to the forest. When they had walked a short time, Hansel stood still and peeped back at the house, and did so again and again. Hansel said, or his father said, once again I can't read, "What are you looking there and staying behind for? Pay attention. Did you forget how to use your legs, you stupid fuck?" "Dad," said Hansel, "I'm looking for my little white cat which is sitting up on the roof and wants to say goodbye." The mom said, "Look, dumbass, that's not your fucking cat. It's the morning sun shining on the chimneys." Hansel, however, sneakily wasn't actually looking for the cat, but had been constantly throwing the white pebble stones out of his pocket on the road. Actual 5-head move. When they reached the middle of the forest, the father said, "Now children, pick up some wood and light a fire so that you may not be cold." The brushwood was lighted, and when the flames were burning very high, the mom said, "Now children, lay yourselves down by the fire and rest. We're gonna go sneak off into the forest and totally not leave you here, okay, buddy?" Hansel and Gretel sat by the fire, and when noon came, each ate a little piece of bread and heard the strokes of wood axe. They believed their father was near. It was not the axe, however, but a ruse. It was a branch that he had fastened to a withered tree, which was blowing backwards and forwards. They sat there for such a long time, even though they knew that their parents were going to leave them alone. They stood there and fell fast asleep. When they finally woke, it was already night. Gretel began to cry like a little bitch and said, "How are we gonna get out of this forest, dude?" But Hansel comforted her and said, "Wait, the moon will rise and then we will find the way. And then we shall spit on the fake queen." When the moon had risen, Hansel, looked and followed the pebbles which shone like newly coined silver pieces and showed him the way. They once again stood, they made it back to their house. The mom was pissed off and was like, "Why the fuck did you sleep in the forest? We thought you were never coming back, you little shits." Then the dad was like, "Woo!" And, he actually had the children, because he was happy. Then the parents tried to get rid of them again, and led them deeper in the forest. They had never in their lives been before. There was a great fire made again, and then the mom gave them another chance to be, good kids and die in the forest. And then they couldn't find their way back, but instead they found a house that was built of bread and covered with cakes. It's a lot of carbs, and the windows were clear sugar, and it was beset by ants. Hansel was like, "Okay, we'll start eating that. I'll eat the roof, and Gretel, you can eat the window. It'll taste sweet." Then a soft voice, totally not ominous, came from the parlor. "Nibble, nibble, gnaw. Who's nibbling at my little house?" The children answered, the wind, the heaven-born wind." Why the fuck would they respond in rhyme? Hello? And went on eating without disturbing themselves, like little assholes. Hansel, who liked the taste of the roof, tore down a great piece. Gretel pushed out one hole of the window pane. And suddenly, the old woman, totally not creepy, came out and was like, "Yo, dude, why the fuck are you eating my house?" "You know what? It's fine. Look, come in, dear children. Who's brought you here? Do come in and stay with me. No harm shall happen to you." Then she took him in, and they had no concern whatsoever. Even though the next line says that she laughed with malice and said mockingly, "I have them. They shall not escape me again. Waha." Okay, then they fell asleep. They woke up. The witch shook Gretel and was like, "Get up, you lazy thing. Fetch some water and cook something for your brother. He's in the stable outside and is to be made fat. When he is fat, I will eat him." Wait, she just straight up tells him that he's gonna eat him? What the fuck? And, that's fucking misogynistic bullshit right there, dude. The men get to be eaten? Now the best food was cooked for poor Hansel, but Gretel got shit. Every morning, the woman crept into the little stable and was like, "Hansel, stretch out your fingers so that I may feel if you will soon be fat." Hansel, however, stretched out a little bone, wink, to her, and the woman, who had dim eyes, could not see it, and thought that it was Hansel's finger, and was like, "Damn, he ain't being fattened." "Now then, Gretel," she cried to the girl, "stir yourself and bring some water." Can't read. "Let Hansel be fatter then. Tomorrow I will kill him and cook him." Now, this is the part of the story where everyone knows. Gretel was like, "Aw, shit, here we go again," and throws the witch into the fire. And the witch dies. Then they walk for 2 hours, find some water. It's like, "Damn, man, we cannot cross. I only see a bridge." Then a duck comes, and Hansel gets possessed by a demon, and speaks out in riddles and shit. It's like, little duck, dost thou see? Hansel and Gretel are waiting for thee. There's never a plank or a bridge in sight. Take us across on thy back so white." The duck came to them, and Hansel seated himself on his back and told his sister to sit by him. Gretel was like, "No, you dumbass, it's a fucking duck. She's gonna take us one by one. My tale is done. There runs a mouse. Whoever catches it may take him a big fur cap out of it." What the fuck?